Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Southbound Real Estate Shawn Jones Show. And as you see, we have an empty set at the moment. Usually Shawn Jones is on set with us, but today we're going to have two special guests with us. We've got something special, so we'll go ahead and introduce them at this time.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheelin dealin, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
Woo! Coach Case, Coach Dye, how we doing today?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Fired up. Had a great
Fired
week
up
of
on a
practice
Wednesday.
so far. Yeah.
Got Union County coming up.
Yes, sir.
Just beat the
Homecoming.
Black Knights.
Oh, yeah.
Got a big win over a county rivalry opponent. Kind of a revenge game after the loss that you had here last year. Talk about how sweet of a moment that was for you to walk out of Lower Afton with a win.
It's always great to get a win. It's always great to get a win against a county opponent. A very good county opponent. Great football team, and we're proud of our kids.
You know, it's always good, like Coach Case said, to get a win out there. Rub it in a little bit on them, you know. Great to get a win after, getting beat last year. I'm glad we're getting a good up front. We're playing hard, we're playing well.
How much of an adjustment was it to play on a Saturday morning also? Because that's one thing that I have to ask about. Originally scheduled for a 7:30 kickoff time on Friday night. Weather, of course, as it's done throughout all of East Tennessee throughout the whole entire season, kind of messed with that a little bit. Smart part on both teams to play it on Saturday morning instead of Saturday night. If you'd have done Saturday night, there's no telling if the game would have been played at this point in time. But how much of an adjustment was that, canceling the game on Friday night and then moving it to Saturday morning?
I think our kids, we get up early in the mornings on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and we come in and work out. So I think our kids were kind of adjusted to it. It kind of reminded me of when I was in college, getting up and getting ready for a college football game on Saturday. A lot of just kind of air about it, ready to go. And I think our kids rose to the challenge. We got great kids. They were bought in and really proud of them.
Man, I just had some flashbacks, going back to college and playing. Felt like an old man at Waffle House before the game. I was sipping coffee, getting ready to go for it. But, I felt like our kids came out there fired up. I told Coach Case and Coach Jones I would have played that bunch on concrete, let alone on a Saturday morning. So I thought we was ready to go, and I thought we played hard.
One thing I was really impressed with from the offense was that a lot of your big plays this year that resulted in touchdowns throughout your first two games were huge chunk plays or the big play downfield. Whether it was a long run by Nash or a short dump pass from Susan that resulted in you going across the chalk and into the end zone, you had to rely on a lot of short plays this time, a lot of short runs, short passes, a lot of different formations that you really hadn't saw. You kind of opened the playbook up a little bit, you and Coach Burns did. So talk to me about those slow and methodical plays that ended up resulting in success for you all.
Well, we didn't change the playbook at all. We just had different formations coming out there. But, it's good to see that we can slow it down if we need to and get them chunk plays out, get the 3 or 4 yards, especially as an offensive lineman standpoint. It's good when you can wear on the defense for 3 or 4 yards, and then if you need to get the quick out and get that out with the passes and everything. But it felt good, just seeing out there we can actually, because there's going to be a couple games where we're going to have to slow it down and play hard. And I thought, Saturday morning it showed that we could slow it down and actually run the ball, pass it well in short yard situations.
I was impressed with the whole team, offense and defense. Defense forced 4 turnovers, held them to 20 points. It's a team that I don't know if they had scored less than 20 points throughout the season so far. I know their first game against Unaka, they scored 54. West Greene, they put up 40. And then against Granger, they put up a pretty good amount also. I think it was 28. So you held them to their lowest scoring margin again this year. Forced 4 turnovers. What went into your scheme and how you scouted that team?
Well, if anybody knows me as far as a coach, I do a lot of film watching, do a lot of charting, a lot of percentages and things like that, gap plays, trying to figure out where they are and what they do. We didn't do a great job overall as far as stopping the run, but we did good enough to make them drive. And a lot of times when you make teams drive long ways, they end up making mistakes. And another big thing that helped us as far as defensively is their offense was just as good as their defense because they kept them off the field. I think they had one play the entire third quarter, which was just a great stat for us as far as keeping the ball out of the hands of their explosive players. You mentioned they scored 20 points. Technically, the defense only gave up 14, and we gave up 7 on the kick return after we had preached all week not to kick it to a 7. But that's what happens when you get the ball in great players' hands, and he did a great job taking it out.
one of those turnovers came on their first offensive possession, their first pass of the game, too. Connor Ray stepped in front of a pass, hit an interception. He had a great game overall and added a 2-yard touchdown later in the second half to put you up, I believe, 20-14 to give you a little bit of separation and kind of start pulling away. Talk about that play and what you saw from him.
Well, all week, Connor was really focused all week. I mean, after the game was canceled, Friday night moved to Saturday, some friends and him went to out to eat after it was over with, got to the restaurant, and he had his scout report out and his phone watching film for Chuckey-Doak. But all week, before the game, I come into my classroom. It's where we meet sometimes. And he's in here. He's got a scout report out. He's looking through everything. He's watching film. Just really excited for him, and he's going to do a lot of that. I mean, he made a big play. If you look back, a big interception, kind of the same situation at David Crockett. And big-time players step up in big-time games, and we're really proud of him.
Speaking of big-time players stepping up in big-time games, one player that I've talked about a lot this year that's having a breakthrough season is Nash Rader. He had another great night on the ground. He had 2 touchdowns. Didn't have many long, explosive runs like he had. And he actually didn't break the 100-yard mark. I don't think he got just close at 93 yards on 24 rushes. You all kept feeding him the ball, and he kept giving you good results every time. Talk about how great of a season he's had so far this year.
Yeah, he's having a good season, but let's not forget about the big boys up front blocking for him, the 5 guys. But, yeah, he's having a good season. We're a run-heavy team. We feel like we can run the ball, and we want to do that. We want to feed him, get him some yardage, give him some different looks with a lot of motion, a lot of different formations out there. But, yeah, I mean, he's having a breakout season. He's been hitting it hard in the weight room. He's put on some weight. He's gained a little speed. Coach Casey gets him to run some track next year, get him a little faster out there. But, yeah, he's having a good season this year. I'm really proud of that kid.
Another player that I guess you could say is having a breakout season also, but I would consider it more of a maturing season, is Jacob Susong. Through 3 games, only 1 interception thrown, and I think only 1 total turnover on offense, and it was just that little lob right to the end zone against Crockett right before halftime.
Hold up now. We don't need any bag juju here. Okay? He's done a great job.
I'm leaning into that. He's done a great job.
Don't curse him now. Here we go.
He's done a great job this year. He had, I think, a little 1-yard plunge into the end zone, and he delivered a few great passes throughout the game also. Talk about how much he's matured so far this year.
Yeah, he's took a step. He's took a step in the right direction. He's taken what the defense is giving him. I mean, we preach that all the time out there. Coach Case and Coach Jones, they're telling him, take what the defense gives you. And he's giving that. I mean, he's stepping up in the pocket when he's feeling pressure. He's doing a really great job of being, that general out there that you want commanding the offense. And he's out here switching plays and everything. But he's doing a really great job, and we're just proud of him, proud of that young man.
One defensive play that I wanted to say for last, because it was really the last final stamp of approval on the game that sealed the deal, was Trey Gentry's fumble recovery that he ended up taking for a touchdown. I think it was 40 yards. That was what sealed the deal with the 34-20 victory. How pumped up were you on the sideline when you saw him running towards the end zone?
Big play. We actually, sometimes in defensive back drills, we'll do tip drill, we'll do fumble drill, we'll throw the ball out there, they're scooping, we're scoring. And it came to fruition that time. And great play by number 2, Charlie Lane, and number 16 there, again, Race. We talked about it during the week and put it on the scout report, the little H dump, he leaks out there. And we were in position to make a play. Just like this upcoming week, we know that Union County, they'll throw the little H dump a little bit where they just dump it off to him and stuff. So we try to scout as much as we can. In fact, on Wednesday today, I give a quiz for each scout report to make sure kids are studying and knowing what they're doing. So, don't know everything all the time, but hopefully it does help our kids.
All right. This is one of those games where you could argue both sides. Did the offense win you the game, or did the defense win you the game? The offense put up 34 points, but the defense forced 4 turnovers. I'm going to let you all settle it.
Well, here's what I look at it. I think both teams played their guts out, but I think our team played more as a team, offensively, defensively, and on special teams, and that's what it takes to have a great football team.
I agree with Coach. I think overall, I mean, it's not just an offensive victory or a defensive victory. We played as a team. We went out there. We took care of business. There was times we didn't play great on both sides of the ball, but we went out there and we played as a team and we got the win out there.
I was really impressed with you being able to limit Chuckey-Doak's attack too, because you had talked about, I saw that Brock Rush, Brazen Merv, and Isaiah Treadway, they're all explosive, they're all fast. That was a big question I'd heard a lot of people ask too, is can South Greene keep up with Chuckey-Doak speed, and I don't really remember too many big explosive plays out of them.
Well, one thing that we stress is don't give up the big one. We can make them drive, make them earn it, and they're a heck of a football team. And you've seen that with when 7 got the ball on the kickoff return, when 4 went up and got the football on his 2 touchdowns. During the game, I said he was on kickoff after one of them, and I know him through track. And I said, Isaiah, what are you gonna make catches like that for? And he just smiled. He said, "That's my job." But they do a great job. They're a great football team. But it's just one of those things. If we do our job, good things happen.
On offense, you had a new formation out there, I noticed. I don't know if you want to give up too much information on that, but was that something that you had thrown out there for the first time?
I mean, can I plead the fifth on here?
You can plead the fifth.
I mean,
absolutely.
It's just different looks that we want to look at, throughout the season. We still got stuff in the playbook we ain't going to bring out. I ain't going to talk about it. But, we just saw something, they haven't seen yet, and we just threw it out there. We actually saw it in a JV game, I believe, against Dobbins Bennett. Coach Case put it in there, and we decided to put the formation in the playbook, and, it worked really well for us Saturday. But, yeah, it's just different formations that we can look at to confuse the defense.
You can plead the fifth on this also, but my favorite play that you ran last year was that little fake against Seymour that went for a touchdown. Do you have something certain like that in the playbook again this year?
I think we got a triple reverse pass back to the quarterback who throws it again.
And
really?
Actually, a lineman catches it, and he throws it again. It's like 3 passes in one. So,
Y'all let me know when that play gets brought out of the playbook.
We'll bring it out.
Because I've been fortunate enough to be at all 3 of your games so far this year. But I feel like the week that you do pull that out is the week that I won't be on the sideline.
Yeah.
So once that happens, please, somebody let me know and send it to me.
You got to get there, man.
I want to see how that happens. But I think that's all we've got on the recap. Big win over Chuckey-Doak, 34-20 for the Rebels. They improved to 3-0 on the year now. Moving forward into a tough test with Union County coming up this week, so we'll go ahead and get that right after the break. Get a few messages on the screen first here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts. The Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
Tommy's Plumbing has provided professional plumbing services to the residents of Greeneville, Tennessee for over 30 years. Our experience and reputation have helped us grow our business to add locations in Jonesboro, Tennessee. Tommy's Plumbing is local and family owned, and we offer a full line of plumbing services, such as kitchen faucet, shower faucets, commodes, and bathroom faucets, as well as drain cleaning. We also provide outside plumbing work, such as septic and sewer drain cleanouts, as well as repair and replace. Tommy's Plumbing pretty much does it all. Tommy's Plumbing is licensed, bonded, and insured. Our quality workmanship and passion to provide our clients with expert service is second to none. We guarantee we have the best warranty around. For all your plumbing needs, give Tommy's a call at 638-3662.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Southbound Real Estate Shawn Jones Show, but a little bit different this week, special edition. We got Coach Case and Coach Dye here with us.
Jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
Woo! We're back, baby!
I just want to put it on record. I did not set this up this week. This is all them.
Don't let him lie to you.
Yes,
Don't
it's
let him lie to
CEO, Mr. Lamb, it's him.
Nope.
It's all him.
You set it all up.
It's all
I never
him.
set anything up. I'm pretty
He's giving
vanilla
us
on this.
aspirations. We're coming at hone and sauce, man. We gotta amp it up a little bit. We gotta get out there for Buchanan and them. We're going to hype it up. We got another nomination this year. Come on.
Are you going to take over Sean's spot on the show now?
I don't know. I'm getting fired up right now.
No, we might have to. We kick Sean to the side, boys. We got it now.
The Coach Dye and the Coach Case show. Y'all need a show name like the Han and Sauce show, the TMB show. What would yours be?
Hey, I got it. DC, baby.
I like it.
DC.
I like it.
DC.
I like it.
The DC edition. That's what I'll call it this week. The DC edition of the Shawn
like
Jones
it.
Show.
I
The
like
Southbound Real Estate DC edition.
I like it.
I'll find something that clicks, that just rolls off the tongue pretty good.
I like it.
But you got the win over Chuckey-Doak last week. Moving forward into this week, you've got Union County. That's a team that you've practiced for all week. You told me you've had a good week of practice too. What are some things that you've kind of studied on film and learned about this team going into Friday night?
Well, they're 2-2. 2 losses are to really good football teams. They've lost to Gibbs and lost to Kingston. Gibbs got a good football team. Kingston does too. A little no huddle on offense. Like to do a lot of formations, a lot of different things. We know they're going to be athletic. They were state champions in baseball last year. From my understanding, they got a few baseball players out. Really good football team. We've got our hands full on homecoming.
What are some things that you saw from their offense that you kind of want to limit?
Well, one thing, we're going to have to get them off the field. Don't get some 3 and outs. We got to limit some explosive gains to their skill guys. The quarterback, they rotate 2, 16 and 6. Don't know their names because I haven't been able to get a roster. But really good athletes. Both of them can throw the ball really well. Can run the ball really well, and we won't have to be on our A game to be able to get some stops and get our offensive football.
Are they more of a pass-heavy team or kind of a ground-heavy team?
A little mix. They can do a little bit of both. They like to run the ball. They try to outman you with some formations and different things. Try to confuse you with some alignment things. We've worked on this week. We've got some checks we've had to talk about, and it's always a challenge. We're priding ourselves on hopefully to be a physical football team again this week, and that's something we want to get better at every week. Shifting
over to the offense too, what are some things that you've seen from their defense that you kind of expect to see?
Well, they're big up front. We're going to have our hands full up on the offensive line spectrum. They're still quick. They still got guys playing both ways. They'll give you different looks up front. They'll give you either a 6-man box to even a 7 to 8-man box. I think when we watched Claiborne, they had a nose, 2 guys head up on the guards and 2 5s. So it just depends on what look we'll get up front. It doesn't change anything, but it doesn't really matter what we're going to get. We're going to try to be physical. We're going to try to run the ball this week.
Are they an odd front or an even front?
A little bit of mix. They'll give you an odd front sometimes, and they'll give you an even front, I guess, depending on the formation or the different look you'll get in the backfield with our look. With the offense, it just changes up. It varies with them.
Are they kind of going to base their defense on what you throw at them on offense, do you think?
Yes, I think that. So a little quirky thing they do, they like to bring the 1 to their strength and the 3 to their weak. I haven't really seen that before, but they
a lot of 3 and 1s to the wide, or 3 to the wide side.
Yeah.
One question I want to ask is, how do you coach an offensive line? I think I've asked that one other time, and I want to get your perspective on it too. What goes into coaching an offensive line?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's kind of the same technical as you get a receiver or a quarterback. Other than us throwing it or running routes, we're taking our steps. Different double teams have, different looks that we'll get. If we get a speedy guy off the edge, we got to be quick with our kick step. If he comes back inside on pass pro, we got to take a post step to block him off. You might have to cut that guy. It's a lot of technical stuff that people don't realize as an offensive lineman. They think they're big dummies who can just might have to move some people, but they're really smart individuals, and they have to think. They have to be on their toes to be able to think to play offensive line.
South Greene's been pretty fortunate this year. I don't think you've traveled out of the county to play a game this year yet.
We haven't.
No. Because it'll be, I think, week 6 before you finally do it. Week 6 or week 7? Week 7.
It's week 7.
Yeah, because you play West Greene next week and then have senior night following that, I believe.
Okay.
So you stay in county throughout the first 7 games of the season.
7 games. That's pretty good.
It's been a weird year all around for high school football in Tennessee. I don't know if you could find I don't know if you could find any team that's had a regular year so far this year. Because not even you all have, because you all had a bye week in week 2. I don't know if have you ever experienced that as a coach?
In 29 years as a coach, that's the first time we've had a bye week in week 2. It's just kind of one of those things that worked out. I know Coach Jones works really hard at getting things set up, and I know he was stressed about getting teams, trying to find teams, and it just kind of fell in our lap. And we had to take this team to be able to have 10 games, and it just was kind of one of those ones. Their off week that were open that we were trying to save fell on the week that they had, and it was just one of those things we had to take it because slots were filling up in other areas. So it's just kind of one of those things that happened, but it is what it is, and it kind of worked out. 7 games in county, pretty good for the first 7 weeks. You don't have to travel as much.
You stay at home this week, but you go on the road again next week.
In Greene County.
And you've got the West Greene Buffaloes. The milk can game, I have to ask you the question about that game, because from where I'd previously known you was head
You were
coach
a
at
student.
West
You were a
Greene.
student.
Yes, I was a student while you were a coach. You were the coach all 4 years I was there. It was a pretty good rivalry when I was there. I think 3 of the 4 years that I was in high school, West Greene took it. You're over here on the other side of the river now at South Greene. Talk about that matchup coming up in a week and a half.
He's putting pressure on me.
He's getting on you, man. He's putting it on you.
No, we got Union County this week. West Greene's had a pretty good year so far. I'm really excited for Coach Monroe and his staff, and they do a good job. We went through some battles. Coach Monroe, I coached him when he was there. Heck of a football player. Does it for the right reasons. Loves kids. Coaches for the right reasons. Coach Greenley's a great coach. Does a great job. Coach Hahn, known him for a long time. They do it for the right reasons, and they're a good football team. And we'll have our hands full, but I don't want to get ahead of the game right there. But really proud of what Evan's done down there and the coaches have done and continue to try to do what's right for that community.
You had to have known that question was coming too about the milk can game.
I figured, but I didn't want to answer it. But they are a great group of guys, and if we're in a coach, we're joking and laughing up here and saying a lot of things. But if you're not in coaching for kids and doing things and try to teach them things to do and help themselves better themselves later in life, you're in it for the wrong reasons. We all get caught up in winning. We all get caught up in the rivalries in the county, and we always ribbit, and everybody wants the bragging rights for this and for that. But the main thing is about doing things the right way and helping young people out. And I know that all the coaches out there work hard, and when it's time to play, we want to win. But in all, we want to do what's right for the kids. So, I'm excited for them down there, and we look forward to that week. It'd be a challenge for us, but, right now we got Union County, it's homecoming, and, the old saying goes, everybody loves homecoming except for coaches and administration because of all the headaches that go with it, trying to keep your, school in order and make sure kids have their fun, but they're doing it the right way, and then you have the coaches trying to keep everybody focused and dress up week, which is awesome. But it's just one of those things that it worries coaches, and it's kind of one of those things. But we got to be ready to play on Friday night.
So it is dress up week. Have you dressed up any this week?
I wore on Star Wars Day. I wore a Star Wars shirt, and kind of did that today. I didn't do anything great or grand. It was Western Day today. Tomorrow, I think it's Wizard of Oz Day or something. I guess I could, most people would say I'd be the Scarecrow, or actually I'd probably be the Tin Man.
Ain't got no heart.
No heart, maybe.
heart.
But anyway, but I think, and then Friday's Rebel Spirit Day and stuff. But it's our teachers have a lot of fun around here. Really proud of our faculty and staff for what they do here, and great job that Dr. Will Hoyt and Coach Hosey and Mr. Cutshaw do here, and everybody in our community. We're proud of our community. We thank them so much for the support they give us here, but really proud to be a part of this school.
So are you coming back next week?
I don't know if the invitation's open and Coach
Invitation's
says so.
open because it's West Greene
we have to check
week.
that out
gotta
with the
get
boss.
We'll have to get with the boss
We
man
have to
on
get
that
the
one.
boss on that.
I mean, I think it was a success. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Well,
I think it went well.
We got to have a little entertainment here and there.
I mean, I think it'd be great with all three.
I think all four would be great. We got to get Coach Burns.
Coach Burns is one
in
you
here.
really
Coach
have
Burns
to-
can lay some knowledge on you. I know
get
that.
some
really have to
Burns.
convince
Coach
him to
Burns
get on
does a
here.
great job. He can lay some knowledge on us in here.
If Coach Burns gets on here, I'll throw his logo up here somewhere too. I don't know which one
Hey,
his
yeah.
logo's flashing on here somewhere right now.
Yeah,
You get like the Batman suit.
Is it in this corner down here? Or is it this corner down here?
Let's see. It's either top right or top left.
Right.
So
Hey, if it's top right,
one of these.
Coach Burns right there.
Right there, baby. Put him up there.
I don't know which corners. I'd have to look. One thing that I noticed also, this is totally off topic right now, and it's going to blow your minds. If you look at the video screen up there, is it not backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're over there on the video screen.
I see it.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's interesting.
I had never noticed that in 3 years.
Flip the camera.
I know.
Come on now.
Flip the script.
I know. It flips, but it flips the wrong
Here,
way.
you want to switch to see if it looks.
Nah,
any better?
he's gonna mess with his brain too much, boy. Sweet.
Usually at the end of every interview, I ask what the 3 keys to success you need to carry out in order to pick up a win on Friday night is.
I'm going to add 4.
4.
All right, big 4. We got to have number 1. We got to have a good stance. All right, we got to have good alignment. We got to know our assignment, and we got to execute. The Big Four. You got to remember that.
Is that the big four every week?
Big Four. I talk about it everywhere I've ever been. We've said it. It's like it's not the Bible, but we got to act like it's the Bible almost, because we got to do it every week.
I hear a rumbling outside the door right now. Is Coach Jones standing out there listening?
I don't know. He may be.
He might be.
He may be.
Hey, Coach, are we going to get a panel of all four coaches soon?
Do what?
Are we going to get a panel of all four coaches soon?
We're on air now. Come on.
we're
I'll
on
get
air.
in there. I'll get it going.
All right. We need Coach Burns on here next.
Right here.
We'll get it.
All right. Fellas, that's all I've got this week. Thanks you all
Appreciate
for
you.
joining me this week. Coach
Appreciate it,
Casey,
man.
Coach Dye. That's all we've got. Homecoming week this week at South Greene. Kickoff still set for 7 with festivities before that. So if you want a good parking spot, show up a little bit early. It always gets a little hectic on homecoming
It
night.
does.
But that's all we've got this week. Thank you all for watching this week's
Thank
edition
you to our sponsors. We love you all.
of the Southbound Real Estate Shawn Jones Show, the DC edition. Thank you all for
DC
watching, and we'll
edition.
see you next week here on Grassroots Media.